Skull, welcome back to Valkyrie's Art Corner. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell for notification of my new videos. Today we're going to do a little bit of a combination type drawing. It's going to be based off of a picture that I found online. I think her name is Joanna, or I'll actually put her name in the description. She's a fantastic artist. And this is pretty much, I'm taking her concept and forming it into something of my own. So it's going to be a flower. It's going to be very similar to almost a lotus flower. And we're going to start out by drawing it in pencil first, so that way we can kind of get the layout of how we want it. Again, since we're going to end up using marker and colored pencil as well, you could just jump straight in with the marker, but you have more chance of error instead of plotting it out with pencil, whereas pencil you can erase, marker you cannot. So that's what we're doing here. And then now I'm taking my fine tip Sharpie and going back into it and outlining everything and darkening in the spots that I want darkened. And then we're going to do that throughout the whole flower. Right here I'm just filling in the stem, and yeah, just pretty much filling in the stem. So it's going to start out looking like a really cool black and white, and then I'm going to add just a pop of color into it. So it's going to look really, really, really interesting. On these petals here, I'm still going to follow her type of drawing and add lines into the petals. So that way it gives it, what can I say? It gives it variation in its look. So that way it looks a lot cooler. And then we're only going to put the lines on a few of the petals. And then on some of the ones that do have lines, we're actually going to black in the middle with the marker. The amazing thing about marker is once it's dry, you can actually draw on it with colored pencil, or possibly another color of marker if it is more of a paint-based marker. But what we're going to do here is just use a regular colored pencil, and you'll see what I mean. It'll make everything pop. And the way it's going to look after I get everything blocked in is something like you would find in a coloring book or one of those adult coloring books where they have like the really cool pictures of like the elephant with the random designs on the inside. So that's the feel I get from this one when I get finished with it, and you'll see. And just to make sure, if you're blocking out several of them next to each other, to make sure you remember where you had the line going on the inside. So the way I do that is kind of make the marker just a teensy bit away from the edge of the line. And I know you can't see it here, but that's what I do. It leaves a little white in it. So that way you can see the indication. That way you can put the shadowing and everything like that into it. And then we're just going to continue on around here. Now you can choose to not color in the black part with a finer tip Sharpie marker. I could have gone with a thicker one, but I did not want to run the risk of losing any of my lined work. And then I started to color it in all black there, and then I realized, oh, wait a minute, I have to put some lines here. So that's what I did. So if that petal looks a little bit different, that's exactly why. I mean, like I say before, art's not perfect. You can kind of improvise, make something your own. If you see an artist that you really like, just try to give credit to them, but try to make it your own. Imagine it's something different. So don't be afraid to copy someone's work as long as you mean well and you make it look your own. And make sure to give them credit. And see, and that's what it looks like finished. I think it looks really cool just in black and white, but I wanted to take it a step further. Like I said at the beginning, I was using colored pencil, so I'm actually drawing some green on here. I probably should have chose a lighter green for the stem, but if you look at it up close, like in person, you can actually see the green in the stem. So I decided to go with a pale purple, almost like a pastel purple pink, to start coloring in. And so I started in light, and then toward the edges where it would shadow, I'd actually put more pressure onto the pencil, so that way you could get the sense of it having some kind of shading. And then midway into it, I decided to add some red into the shading, or it's like a reddish pink, into the shading of it to give it a little bit more color pop, because flowers in the wild, they don't necessarily have just one color. Sometimes they're mixed. So that's what I'm doing here, is just kind of going through doing the same thing over and over. And this is the part where I made it my own. I just added in color, and I'm going to add a few little other fun stuff to it too. But now you can see the difference in the petals and everything like that. So and we're almost finished here. And then also in the black parts, I decided to color in some actual color to it, so that way it's not just solid black and just kind of sitting there. You can actually see a little color of pop, or a pop of color. That's bleh, I'm dyslexic with my words. So, and here's where I'm adding my own little flair to it. I kind of improvised and just doodled as I went, so it's kind of sporadic and unplanned. And sometimes that's the best art, and it ends up turning out really cool, and just adding a few little dots here and there. And then remember to always sign your piece. Now it's not only her piece, now it's officially my piece. And here's the final project. If you like this or want any other pictures drawn for you, just let me know.